Hello, thanks for joining us. This is Kevin Benedict. I'm a senior analyst with the Center for the Future of Work at Cognizant, and I'm thrilled to have today the CEO of PowWow Mobile, Behnia. Thanks for joining us,
Thank
Kia.
you. Good to be here.
So you are here at the Enterprise Transformation Summit in West Palm Beach, Florida with me here. That's why we hear the birds and have the palm trees around it. We're fortunate to be here. Now, PowWow Mobile is relatively new.
Yes.
Mobility's been around for a long time, just like I have.
Yes.
That's why I have the gray hairs here. So what made you think it was time to get in and to do a startup in mobility?
Well, I think it's a pain point that has been around for a long time. It's getting worse. While there have been a lot of innovative solutions in the market, we feel that the problem space has evolved. And a lot of the older solutions, the first-gen solutions in this market, haven't been able to keep up. Today, mobile is not just about mobile devices. It's about everything. It's about tablets and phones and wearables and new devices that are coming. So after a decade of being the CTO for the 8th largest software company in the world, DMC Software, I found that our customers were really struggling to adopt new technology. It seemed like when they started on a mobile project, by the time they finished that mobile project, the device targets had changed. So they were always on this hamster wheel of trying to keep up with innovation that was happening with Apple and Android ecosystem, etc. So PowWow takes a highly disruptive approach. We basically subscribe to DevOps principles around Agile and rapid release models. So it's not a waterfall. You're gonna love me in 12 months. I'll pick iOS as the first platform and then do the rest. So we've compressed steps in app development, particularly around the design elements, and really made it easy for organizations to collaborate. That's where the name PowWow comes from, on building applications that the users love. What I mean by that is they address not just individual functions, but almost a workflow. So we can take an entire workflow, a day in the life, if you will, of a user, quickly design a new user experience, leverage existing applications or existing processes that may already be in place. We have some unique secret sauce around that. And then deliver these brand new experiences to any device.
Wow.
So it's very powerful in that context. We see projects that we can go from concept to production in 8 weeks.
Wow.
And support 5 or 6 different devices and device types without having to rewrite or recode.
Well, another one of your strategies is buyer competition.
Yes.
Talk to us about that.
Well, I think when we looked at this space, we found that there's only a handful of companies that had the raw ingredients in terms of both technology, culture, and the IP to solve this problem. And one of those companies is a company based out of Atlanta called Star Mobile. We had a lot of respect for, they saw the world exactly as we did. And both of us were young, both of us were investing in similar technologies, and I had an opportunity to reach out to their CEO, talk to him about getting together, and we now have consummated an agreement where effectively we've acquired that company, and we're very excited on both sides to bring the full power, because there's still a lot of things that need to be done. They were ahead on the analytics side of the house, which we think is very important. They were also ahead by the virtue of the first set of customers they were dealing with around interacting with mainframe systems and bringing mobile to even mainframe solutions. That's something that we always envisioned as a part of our solution, but it was further out. So we'll take our core platform, which is battle tested and in use with more than a number of Fortune 50, Fortune 500 companies around the globe, and add the components of their technology that made sense to that platform and go to market with a unified platform.
When did you start thinking about having PowWow Mobile? How long ago was that?
So I came across the founders of PowWow a year ago.
Okay.
How I found out about PowWow was that I bought an Apple Watch
Yep.
and literally went online. And as I got my Apple Watch, I saw this company show SAP approvals on Apple Watch.
Wow.
Apple Watch must have been released 5 days. This was
Yep.
at the Citrix Synergy show. And I said, I really need to talk to this company to figure out how they do that, because that's not easy. And then as I got to know the founders, I got really excited about their platform and software.
That's terrific. So, from that time a year ago, how have you seen the market evolve just in the last 12 months?
It's crazy. We have outgrown our space now 3 times. So the team is 3 times bigger than it was. Our business is 400%. So 4x what we were doing last year. The type of customers we're getting are different. Many of the customers are led by the innovation teams who have a backlog of ideas. And economically, the mobile equation was too expensive for the customers and too cheap, quite frankly, for a lot of vendors to be able to build sustainable businesses on. We've talked about this before. And we're seeing that with enterprise or digital transformation, people have a broader strategy that helps them think about how, not just how to mobilize a application, but how do I transform my business? Those are very different things.
Right.
The mobilizing application or mobility in general started out being very device-centered and app-centered. Digital transformation, enterprise transformation starts out from the experience that our customers have as they interact with us, the experience our employees have as they do their work.
Yep.
So you can actually take many of these workflows, instead of looking at individual apps and say, how do I build this in a way that is consumable and my users will love it?
Yep.
So an example of this that we use every day in our regular life is Yelp. The app is great for reviews for restaurants, etc. If you think about the origins of Yelp, it was a directory listing. All it did was you went and did a search to say, where's the best Thai restaurant near me? What it's evolved to now, the new Yelp mobile app allows you, without ever leaving that app, to get directions, make a reservation, do a review, share that restaurant with all your friends. That's an example of a workflow and an app encapsulating the entire workflow rather than forcing you to jump out of the app and copy and paste into another app, etc. We see Uber do the same thing. The Uber app is great because rather than having to go back and forth between texting the driver, right within the app I can send text messages.
That's great. That's great. So let me ask you this. Startups, young companies, one of the biggest challenges is not only having software that's appealing and that's unique and there's a competitive differentiation there, but getting trust.
Yes.
Having people trust you're going to be around here. So what would you say to a company that says, that's really cool technology, but tell me why you're going to be the one that wins?
Well, I think, look, I think the market is big enough that we're going to have multiple winners. So I certainly hope we're not the only company that is prosperous in this area. I think part of it comes back to the background and the track record of both the management team, the investors, and what kind of view do they have? Are they building features or are they building a company? And when I left BMC and came to PowWow, my desire was to really build a product set and a platform that really addresses this problem. Our investors share that same vision, so they're patient, long-term investors rather than quickly trying to turn a profit. And then I'm privileged to have a team of folks that have been in the space and in the industry for many years. So some of the mistakes that is natural in a new space that a new young company would make, we're trying to prevent that through experience.
Got it. So our viewers out here, if they want to look up PowWow Mobile, where do they go online?
They can just go to powwowmobile.com. We've made the material very easy to consume. We're big believers in digital marketing and kind of giving you the ability to evaluate our technology. And then we're happy to engage with you. Typically, where we start is a more tailored demo of the product, understanding a little bit of what is the business problem you're trying to solve, and then giving you the right set of guidance on whether you want to do this on your own, do you want us involved, or do you want to have a partner involved. And we support all three models.
Got it. Kia, I want to thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your knowledge with all of us, whether you're here in Florida or out there. So thank you for joining us.
It's great to be here. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
And thank you for sticking with us.
Thanks, everyone.